here's where, can I show you where we started? This might kind of give you a fun little idea. I'm going to jump into Morningstar Automotive. So this was kind of the primary company that we started with. Some of the different pieces of the puzzle here. We did stock units, and so I'm going to go here to the stock unit inventory homepage, and say for instance I wanted to actually show you how many, let's see if they have any trucks. Okay, we kind of started in this kind of realm, if you will. Okay, so here's a little Ford Ranger truck. Here's a little photo gallery. So very similar type things. Instead of a house, it was a truck. Okay, still fairly decent sized ticket item. $8,000, some of them are $30,000, whatever. And if you switch to the different mode on this one, what you do is you have a different bunch of pieces, okay? So we actually had this. We had some floor plan activity. It was floored with the bank, which means we traded title for money, which we could then kind of flip around to other things. This one here had an outside repair. If I wanted to click on this, this is $135 that was done from an outside person, but I needed to attribute it to this particular piece. Oh, looks like here's the documentation. Looks to me like it was a windshield. Okay, so if I actually click on this, I physically can see here is the physical bill for the windshield for this particular. Look, they put the whole VIN number in there and whatever. And basically, here's the $135, and looks like it was probably in Pueblo. So if I hit back, I'm assuming that this is probably in Pueblo. So back, I'm still in the expense right now. Okay. So right here, look at this, location, Pueblo. Okay. It was assigned to that particular location. If I hit back again, and I'm back in the stock unit, let's see what this one's currently in inventory, and it's currently that it's in the location. Let me look here real quick. It's been a while since I've looked at this, so I can't remember right where the location was at.
Look who it was purchased by.
Yeah, David.
Okay, it was purchased by David right there. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Anyway, it would show me the location. I'm just trying to like, oh, where is it? Where is it? I don't even know where. Oh, right now it's currently in Salida. Okay, that's where the location is. But if I actually hit the history on this, I could actually see who touched this whole thing over time. Okay, look at this. I see Sherio's name in here, clear back in '09, like, et cetera, just depending on. This one was actually entered in '08 by Fred, and here's the different places that it was at. It was at Pueblo for 15 days. That's probably where it got its windshield, and then it flipped and flipped and went back to Pueblo, and like this was kind of an older vehicle. Like it's like, man, we gotta get rid of this thing. But like, oh, looks like it did a little bit of floor plan activity. This is just a small history page just for this particular vehicle, and that was just one little drill down in a way, kind of like, what was this outside repair? Here's some internal tickets that were done for this particular one. Looks like we did a battery. Looks like another battery. Looks like another battery, okay? And 8 and 9 and 10. Like, maybe this thing was draining batteries. Who knows? But basically, it tells the story of what's going on. And so what we do is we keep adding these different pieces, and then it eventually kind of helps you out and knows what's going on and who sold it and who brought it in, and does it have notes? We can go check it out. Here's what's going on. Like basically, there's just tons of options. This is where we started, was in stock units. And so, just to kind of give you a fun thing, why don't we do this for? My bad, I hit on the wrong link. I was going to hit search sold units. Just for fun, why don't we go grab all of the vehicles and all of the trucks and all of the Dodge trucks. So we'll scroll down to the vehicles, and we'll grab Dodge. These guys sold a bunch of Dodge trucks, okay? Go get all the Dodge trucks, and guess what? I want all years and all months, okay? Go get me just the Dodge trucks. They sold 772 Dodge pickup trucks, okay? Worth over worth over $1 million worth of Dodge pickup trucks that they did just alone, okay? Brown ones, red ones, gold ones, blue, silver ones, etc., etc. You could come over here and you could actually say, okay, what was my date sold? '09, '08. Let's go way back, just for fun. Why don't we go back to page 16, okay? So Dodge pickup trucks. Looks like we didn't have the photo galleries in place, but way back in, they actually have information here from clear from 97. Okay, like, it doesn't matter. All data is live and searchable. If you put it in, it still can be there. Okay, so I can literally jump in there. Some of this was probably some stuff that we ended up migrating or doing. Let's go to page 8 just for fun. Okay. Oh, now we're in 06 and 05. And scrolling down. Let's go to the next page just for fun. I just wanted to show you 05, 05, 05, 05. We sold a ton of them in 05. Any one of them, if you wanted to jump into it, guess what? All of the pictures still exist. And like, that takes some time to take some pictures and stuff. There's a guy by the name of Ken Birkencotter. He was a cousin of Steve and David's, and he would go get a vehicle, make sure it was clean, drive it up into the mountains, find these nice places, take pictures of it, and then he would come and put it in. I'll bet you anything, if we click on this picture right here, it'll say Ken Birkencotter was the one who did it. Like, I can just tell just by, it's not at a dealership. It's like really, really nice photos. You pop through here and see some of the other ones that he shot. Like, this was literally what we did when we originally started. That's kind of part of the puzzle and stuff. So this particular piece of the puzzle, it's currently sold. Okay, it's sold. Let's go take a look. Switch modes. What have I got? A guy by the name of Jason Ward sold it. Okay, the location was he sold it out of Pueblo. If I wanted to, I could even go like this. Sold info. I won't go clear down to the customer information, but watch this. Oh, the sale price was for $14.5. Came down. These are all the different fields that were available. Were there any liens on the thing? Were there any temp tags, et cetera, and I'll kind of skip past that. Looks like he actually sold it to somebody that was in El Paso. But basically, there's tons of information. I can click on Edit Unit. Here's where they were able to add all of their different little pieces and of the puzzle, et cetera, like any sort of floor plan information. Do I want to show hide it on the web? Like, they had all of these different little options and different pieces that they could do, and that's where we kind of came from to build this whole system. Can I brag on David for just a second? You guys want to see some cool stuff that David's done? Watch this, okay? I'm going to go to the advanced expense receipt page. Actually, let's go to the normal expense receipt homepage, okay? Just for fun. So you can see David Birkencotter, like, this was actually billed to David Birkencotter, meaning that we owed him some money. But look at this right here, David Birkencotter, David Birkencotter, David Birkencotter. I'm going to go like this, just for fun. I'm going to say, who created this expense? And I'm going to say, why don't we find David's, okay? Why don't we expand this way out? Why don't we go from 1/1 of 02 till now, okay? Go get it. So it's going to go crunch some data. So David has entered up close to 2,000 expense receipts, okay, worth, over close to $500,000 of different expenses that he's actually entered. Look at how well he does at documenting things. This is David's documentation, okay? He does a wonderful job. Let's see what he did right here. This was for $46, and it looks like he needs to be reimbursed for it. We'll just go check it out. Click on it right here. Click. Okay, so here's his expense receipt number, 24095. I'll bet you if I go like this, 24095, he tied it right to the thing, so when he actually files this thing, he knows exactly where to get back to it, okay? This is what David does. Like, he's a master. He does all this kind of stuff. If we wanted to actually see what it was doing, watch this. We'll hit on printable. We'll come on down, repairs to the Dodge, and he basically assigned it to the location of Salida for this much. He used his debit card and needs to be reimbursed, and it looks like he was actually paid on that reimbursement, okay? And if I wanted to check it out, I could even go right here. Let's go check this out, okay? So he was paid a total of $607, but for one of them was for $46, okay? So basically, here's the different ones that he was paid on, blah, 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 blah. All those different little pieces of that puzzle there, okay? One of these guys was actually for $46. So here's what his total payout was, $607 to get reimbursed from, okay? So down here, here's the different ones that he was paid on. One of them was for $46. I can't remember the number. 46, okay, right there. That's the one that we looked at. It was all wrapped up into one little reimbursement payment back to him, okay? So he got $607 back, but it actually satisfied. That's major stacking of this kind of stuff, okay? Instead of we haven't shown you this, but watch this. If I show you this analogy right here of this object player lesson, if you will, that kind of shows you the plates and whatnot. Okay, so imagine if you do this. I have a physical tray like this, okay? Let's say that this was one expense, and let's say that this is another expense, and then eventually, let's just say that randomly has some different little pieces of the buckets, whether it's photos or whatever, and another one. See how this giant tray is holding all of these different little pieces of these little objects? We made one payment to David, but we satisfied all these teeny little guys like this. This is what we call one-to-many relationships, as far as like how different things are stacked and combined, and it's so different. So watch this. One little plate right here that has all the different little pieces. Watch this. If I come back in here, let's talk this one right here. We go printable. We would go like this. This plate all by itself, it has a number, 24095. Okay, so it creates its main. Looks like he only has one line item. No problem. We come down to the bottom and we say, oh, you have one payment, but you were owed on account. So I virtually kind of floated myself into on account. I could also check to see how many history, what he had for photos. These are other buckets that would be for this particular piece of the puzzle here, okay? If I hit back, just to give you an idea, okay, this is one little teeny piece of how many of them that were actually eventually applied to this one called 24117 for a total of $607, and we wrapped in all of these guys to pay for them on the expenses, okay? So that's totally a one-to-many relationship that almost gets to a one-to-many to many, if that makes sense, because all by itself, this is already a one-to-many relationship, okay? And then this is a one-to-many to many. So that's how Atlas can stack it as far as like paying off like a reimbursement or something like that. But this is where we started. And so kind of just to give you a little bit of a flavor, if you will, like it can go way deeper than just selling little little pumpkin seeds and different things like that. So did that help a little bit on that, Paul?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Watch this. I'll bet you anything he probably actually scanned the check and that he got paid, okay? He scanned the physical check in that he got paid on this one. David does an excellent job, okay? David, do you have any comments on this or anything?
No, it's just a lot of fun to do.
It's a lot of fun to do.
You put it in your gun, and if you really need to look up something, just look it up.
Yep.
No hunting for document.
Awesome. David, I was bragging about you the other day when you actually created this little quick search piece right here. And I appreciate what he did. Like, that's part of Atlas right now. Like, if you use Atlas, use the quick search. David Birkencotter was like, here's what happened. He would go like this. Home, he would go expense or stock unit, depending on what he was doing. Say he was going to go to a specific stock unit. He would type it in, 5128, whatever it was. Okay. He would go to the specific stock unit. He'd do whatever he wanted to do, and then when he wanted to go to the next one, he'd go like this again. Home, and then he'd go, let's go see what's 1788, just for fun or whatever. Oh, I don't have that one. Okay, whatever. We'll just kind of say, I don't even know what numbers they have in here. We'll fake it. Okay, this one here was a topper, a Lear topper, okay? So basically, he would constantly be going like this, back home, quick search, back home, quick search. And so like, especially when he was actually putting all those documentations on an expense receipt, say he was looking for 35,000-ish, somewhere around in there. Oh, I keep going too high, huh? Let me just back that off one. Say he actually knew what it was, okay? This looks like a utility bill that they split between multiple locations, okay? Salida, Montrose Canyon, Pueblo, and they were splitting it at certain percentages so that the entire bill would be allocated, which isn't a very high bill, but it looks like they allocated it to all the different locations. What he would have to do is he would have to get to this page, and then he would find a little link that said add edit photos, then he would go add the photo to it, okay? And then he would go back and back. So he basically was like, can't you please put something on every page so that we could kind of just jump there faster and go, oh yeah, cool. So that's why we actually have it right here. So if you know the value that you're looking for, whatever it is, you can just jump immediately. Oh, this one says, hey, there's a problem. Guess what? I have a disconnect between, it says that I don't have any line items. Okay, it was kind of giving me a little error message. Uh-oh, no line items. But it's kind of been voided out, so it's not really going to affect anything. But basically, the whole system, the whole way through, we're trying to help you in multiple ways, depending on where you're going. So kind of makes it fun in that way. Awesome. Let's go ahead and, sometimes I feel like I'm just kind of chatting and talking and stuff. I want to know what you guys would like to learn. Like, you guys are here for the class. I would love to know what you guys would like to learn or do or look at, or like, there are tons of options, tons and tons of options. Like, if you wanted to talk different industries, you could actually talk, okay, you want to see what this industry does? You want to see what this one does? Like, that's not really the point. Our point today was kind of to talk about customers and flex grades and stuff like that.